Welcome back to the Gemcutter's Craft. This is Justin K. Prim, and today I want to talk about how to improve your polishing speed and facet stretching by unlocking the stop. So previously in this series, we've been looking at how to improve your gem cutting speed. Firstly, by knowing your laps and using the right lap sequences. Next, by understanding the geometry of your design and having the mental map of the stone in your head so that you don't have to go counting every facet, but knowing where they all are on the index gear. Now today I want to talk about another little trick that we teach in our class and that I've also seen some professional American cutters do, which is polishing without the hard stop. So if you've never heard about this or thought about this, you might be thinking, why would I ever not use the stop on my machine? On the mast machine, the stop lets us know exactly what angle we're at by letting the mast hit the stop. And on the handpiece machine, our stop is essentially our third foot. As we're cutting, the handpiece comes down until all 3 feet are flat on the plate, and that's our stop to know that we are exactly at the angle that we've set on the handpiece. In the cutting process, this makes perfect sense. We want to know exactly what angle we're on so that we can cut the exact angle that we need to cut, whether that be in reference to the critical angle or because we're following a diagram. But when we're polishing, the rules change a little bit. Now let me give you a little demonstration on the handpiece machine. So let's say that I've cut my stone and I'm going through the process of polishing it. So I'm on the crown side. I'm doing my crown mains 35 degrees because I'm going to do a round brilliant. So I've got my handpiece on 35 degrees. I raise my plate up here so that the handpiece is perfectly flat. It's not touching the lap. I know it's at 35 degrees. Now I lower the plate down into the point where I hit the lap. I'm still at 35 degrees. But let's imagine that I need to stretch a facet. Maybe I overlapped my brake facets, or maybe I overlapped my star facets, or maybe I accidentally switched to the brakes, but I forgot to change my angle and I made a little tiny square underneath my main facet. I'm sure this has happened to you. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just have a little mistake that you need to get rid of, and this is how we would do it. If I want to, let's say, stretch the facet down so that I'm opening up my brakes or getting rid of that little square, I need to lower the angle. So lowering the angle on the handpiece is easy. It means that the handpiece goes like this. But instead of unlocking the angle and switching it to, let's say, 36 degrees, I can just stretch using the plate. And we do this by floating the third foot, which is the same thing on the mast machine as unlocking the stop. So here's how we float the foot. Floating the foot is good for stretching up and stretching down. Technically for stretching down, you don't need to float the foot, but for stretching up, you do. So what we do to stretch the foot, we pull the plate back like that. The height's the same. We've already set it for 35 degrees, so it's still at 35 degrees. And now, as I move the plate up and down, the angle of my stone and the angle of my handpiece are changing. Maybe it's 35, maybe it's 34, maybe it's 33, or maybe I go the other way. It's 35 and a half, it's 36, it's 36 and a half. All I need to do is float the third foot, and instantly I'm stretching facets as I'm cutting. Now this takes a lot of practice to get the hang of because it's very easy to make bad mistakes. So the rule of thumb is 1/8 of a turn of movement at a time. Polish it a little bit, wipe it off, check your meet points. If it's not enough, do it a little bit more, polish it a little bit, and hopefully it's done. Now, if you want to do that on the mast machine, the idea is the same, but the execution's different. So let's go through the exact same exercise. We're polishing the crown of a round brilliant. We're on the main facet, so I've got my angle stop set to 35 degrees. If I lift up my mast, you can see I'm exactly at 35 degrees and it hits the stop. So my stop is at 35 degrees. I've cut my facets in at 35 degrees. I've cut all the facets in, mains, brakes, stars, and let's say I've made the exact same problem. I overcut the brakes and they're a little bit overlapped. Now in the mast machine, this is easy. We don't need to do anything special to fix this problem. We come down, we hit the lap, we're polishing at 35, and we see that the brakes are a little bit overlapped, so we'd like to stretch the main facet down to open them up. All we need to do is lower the mast a little bit, and already 35 becomes 35 and a half becomes 36. Easy enough. But if we want to stretch up, it's a little bit more complicated. Same as the handpiece. We move the mast up, because we want to stretch up. It's hitting the stop. and it's floating. It's not touching the lap anymore. So what do? We change the angle a little bit with the fine adjustment. We change the height. This is too much work. Already, if we have to do 2 things, it's too many things. So what's the easier way to do it? Just like the handpiece, we float. We float the foot. But in this case, it's unlocking the stop. So we unlock the stop. It's no longer stopping. If I come off the lap, I can come all the way down to 90 degrees. We're in the wild, wild west here. Be careful. So we've unlocked the stop. It's still at 35 degrees because my height is correct for 35 degrees. I'm polishing, and if I see that I need to stretch up or I need to stretch down, a little turn here, goes down, a little turn this way, stretches up. Now, you can go through the entire process of polishing the stone without using the stop. You adjust your height so that your angle reads the angle that you want when you touch the lap. You're polishing your stone, you come up, you look at the facet, you're checking for a grease line. The diamond slurry will give an outline to your stone if you're using a diamond oil slurry. You see that slurry, you can confirm, yes, I am polishing on the original facet, I'm not too high and I'm not too low, but I need to stretch. I can go a little bit up, I can go a little bit down. And you can go through the entire process like this without having to do any fine adjustments of the angle or too much fine adjustment of the height control, just a little up and a little down. And this is how the pros are getting several stones done per day with perfect meet points. Sometimes you make a mistake, sometimes you overcut, sometimes you get scratches on the stone because of the material and you overcut a facet, but you still have to make it perfect. This is how you fix the problem. Stretching up, stretching down, but not with turning every single knob on the machine. One adjustment up, one adjustment down, or if you're on the handpiece machine, same thing. One adjustment up, one adjustment down. Super, super simple, super fast. Give it a try and see if it increases your speed. See if it helps you to understand how the geometry is working as we stretch facets. If you've never stretched a facet and this terminology that I'm presenting to you is something brand new, you need to get to work. Go stretch some facets. This is the key to professional cutting. If you don't know how to stretch facets, you cannot do recuts, you cannot do repairs, you are going to be very slow, and if you make any mistakes, how are you going to fix them? We need to stretch the facets, whether that means up and down with the height or left and right with the cheater. Once you've mastered the cheater and the height control and floating like this, you can now go in any direction. If you want to go up and to the left or down and to the right, or whatever direction you want to go to move your facet in the direction you need it to be, this is how you do it. If you're appreciating all these free tips that I'm giving on the internet, I would ask that you consider supporting my Patreon. It's only $3 a month, and not only are you going to get access to all of these free videos that I put on YouTube, but you're also going to get access to my twice a month podcast where I'm interviewing gem cutters, jewelers, gemologists, and other people in the wider world of the gem trade to help you and to help me get an idea about what's going on out there, how can we be better gem cutters, how can we be better business people, and how can we just be better people in general. So if you'd like to be a better person, go over to my Patreon. The link's down below. It helps the channel, it helps me share all this free stuff for you guys and go on historical research trips so that you can learn a little bit more about the history and localities of the gemstone trade. This has been Justin K. Prim and Leon France, and I will see you right here next time. See you then.